figures here, and our current rate is 3219. Is that correct?
Yep.
Correct. Last year's tax rate.
The no new revenue rate is 318,455, and the voter approval rate is 3355.
3335. Three?
Is it three threes?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
3355.
3355.
That's what we meant.
Two threes.
Voter. Yeah, 2 3s.
Okay, that's what I had.
2 3s, 2 5s.
Yeah.
That's all one I know, dude.
If we can agree on setting the rate, if we could do that, and vote on it Friday afternoon, we can publish it and get it in the newspaper Wednesday. And that way we'll be,
So we were off.
some-
And now we're figured. I'm sorry.
talk to us.
Oh, it's just,
What we need to know.
we're just doing some quick calculations. I don't usually look at it from y'all's standpoint, so, I'm not.
So we could actually go up to the voter approval rate if we wanted to, and not have to have an election on it.
Correct.
But I'm not saying that's what we need to do, I'm saying we could. Right now, we are at 3219. And we still, we've settled the issue on the raises for those lower positions.
Mhm.
Are we going to do anything for anyone else?
Yeah. Sure.
I know there are some offices that got large raises from the SB 22, but there certainly are some that have not gotten any kind of a raise. You know, I mean, so we need to think about at least doing something. I would think to help everyone.
We've been pretty good the last 2 years. Since I've been here,
Uh-huh.
they've gotten 6,000
Mhm.
between the 2 years together.
And I think we need to talk about it, is what I'm saying,
Okay.
about if we want to come up with anything else.
May I say something?
Yes.
First of all, I won't be here Friday, so if any of y'all need me for anything, I'll have myself, so.
We're gonna finish talking about this tax rate before today's over.
Okay. Just something I want to point out, just for, to me, the more information, the better decisions you can make. I would like to report as a non-voting member of the Appraisal District Board of Directors. They have on their proposed budget that I don't see a reason why that won't go forward, a 5% raise for all employees that was, with very little discussion.
We pay that, so you know, sure.
Yes.
Makes it easy for them.
Somebody's always paying something, so. And then some of the appraisers got a lump sum on top of that.
Really?
Correct. So I just want to tell you that that's what happened over there.
We get a copy of that budget.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look from personnel to personnel, you'll see those, it won't all be the same type of increase because everybody got the 5. I don't think the chief appraiser quite got that, but all the staff did, and then the licensed appraisers got a bump
I
on
can't
top
hear
of
you.
that. The licensed appraisers got a bump on top of the 5. So I just want to bring that to your attention for what it's worth. And just report that to you.
Yeah, we can't do nothing about that. We can't do nothing about
We
that.
can't do anything about that other than grumble maybe, but
The 3355, the increase of 0136, or 30136.
I wrote that down somewhere. Maybe it's just in the calculator.
We were working on that figure.
It's just 1 0.
Well, when he multiplied it by the, he got 3591404.325.
The difference between the 3355 and 3219 is .0136.
Right. But when he's doing his figures, he put 2 more zeros on the front of it. It's gonna be over 400,000, a penny. Or a penny 36.
Well, those 2 zeros were to convert the percent.
Huh?
Those 2 zeros were to convert the percent to a rate, so that
Okay.
you multiply it by the base.
Well, we had a 016. And it's actually
That's the difference in
136. We
Current
wrote
rate.
down the wrong number for
Last year wasn't 1 cent when that turned $50,000.
more than
1
that.
cent, let me see my sheet there. 300,
It was 300,
358.
358.
Now it's over 400.
Because the value is the 3,581,000. On the value, you do it on the value.
Now it's 35591.404.325,
That, 1 cent.
page 3.
That's where the 3 zeros come in, so when you do it on the,
Do the percentage.
so it's on the 1,000s. Is that right?
Yeah.
If you take the 3 billion and a .0001, then you come up with your 358,000 per point.
Dan figured. I said, he figured it too.
Yeah, that's 7, right?
358.
358, 138.
Jeannie, how many full-time employees do we have?
102.
Did I have it on the bottom of that sheet? I did count the other day, and I think it might be on the very bottom of that sheet, Judge.
111 have insurance, but
So the deal is positions, I probably was counting positions, not exactly people.
oh,
Yeah, 130 is what you.
It'll be 103, we had Karen, because the insurance guy said we had 102.
okay.
Now, of course, that's field positions is what he's counting, because like, I know
Okay.
there's a few departments that have positions that aren't filled.
Yeah, okay.
It's a little bit over 100, I just couldn't remember the number off the top of my head, but I can go look. So based on what I'm looking at here, and I don't think it's changed, 111 positions on the, full-time positions on the books. So not all those are filled, but 111.
Legislature meet again this year or next year?
Next year it should be.
I'm
25,
talking about in 25.
I think 25. It's usually a holiday. I hate when they change all these.
We can look at all this, just kind of figure out all this stuff and then we'll have something done on Friday. We need to have more information on Friday. Sounds like a good deal to me. What time you said meeting gonna be on Friday?
So,
What time's the meeting on Friday?
probably 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
So to go to 3355, to give us 358,000, $138.
What do we need it for?
They should, like I said, the inspector's fixing me. How you know what you're gonna do? Unfunded mandate. all the time.
Well, that's not in here because we're gonna do that out of, the budget fund we already have. So it's not gonna affect this budget, our current budget rate. And I will put that in there before we file it, yeah. It'll be a lot.
I know.
It'll be a lot. It's not gonna affect us balancing this budget.
Right.
Yeah. We do have some more things we're gonna be talking about in different departments that may need to be adjusted, small amounts. But we need to decide about salaries and the tax rate and, finalize that.
It's gotta be in the paper, we have to do it Friday, so it'll be in the paper Monday. Gotta be
It's
done.
been like Monday, certain time, what time is it? Monday or Tuesday?
Monday, well, for some kind of times it's Monday,
Like 10 a.m.
Monday at noon.
I thought they,
It's the,
Whatever. I'd also like to put on that thing to review the holidays.
We're gonna do- If we can decide, then we'll have everything ready so we can. Oh, we shouldn't have that. Okay, so. I guess the thing we're holding at home first is salaries. We've already agreed on the 5 positions to raise that to $15 an hour, which is, what you tell me, 31.2? 31.2 on those positions.
I think Senate Bill 22 took care of a lot of those.
Sorry,
I think Senate Bill 22 took care of a lot of those.
you did.
The other people didn't get it.
What'd you say, 31 and what?
31.2.
Okay.
It went from 25 to 31 to.
Oh, I was thinking, yeah.
That went on every
No,
position, that was just on the, what was it, 3 lowest?
Yeah, there's 5. There was one, there was 3 that were 30,000 and then 2 at 25.
So 2 of them.
2 of them was 12,000 and then the other, there was 3,600 on the other. So I was just thinking, oh, just probably with benefits and everything, that probably added 20-something thousand to it.
Yeah, I can go down and change that pretty quick.
22 or something.
Yeah.
Just from way we've been figuring.
She'll change that on our schedule,
Yeah.
okay?
I didn't feel
That's
that.
all we're doing this year. Just set time here. We've been good the last 2.
I mean, the one that's.
That's just the last my opinion.
I didn't build that into the budget, it's this around this budget.
3 of them said that 30 even.
3 were 30 each.
25.
So if you have a clerk 1 making 30, I'm sorry, if, like my clerk 1 makes 30, and, but a new person will make 30, I mean, or those
We're gonna talk
pay
about that.
rates, pay rates for the,
No, that's just for raises for the current salaries.
okay.
And then-
Trying to bring them up to $15 an hour before,
Yeah.
and then plus benefits. Bring them to 31 too. Essentially, that would start, the starting pay from 31 too,
Mhm.
right?
Well,
I mean, minimum.
we're gonna redo that, yeah.
But that's, just to make sure I understand, that's not effect till October, we're not going ahead and retro in right now?
No, yes,
Right here.
We have two opinions.
On the two positions at 25, I mean,
Yeah.
that all agree that that need to come up to the 15.
Yeah.
The three positions that were at 30 that would go to 31.2, that $1,200 increase is worth about a little less than 58 cents an hour.
Yeah.
My question is, would that be a fair?
Yeah, I don't know, I was just keeping it simple.
Mhm.
But, well, I'm talking about moving up.
Making those a little bit more,
Yeah.
where it's, they realize a little something.
Mhm. And I know we're not by the hour considered, but like I was talking to Pauline the other day, and he said that they do theirs by the hour. And they're, you know, they add so much per hour based on 2,080 hours. So that 58 cents would be just a tick over $1,200.
Yeah.
$100 per month for,
Yeah, that's not realizing, right?
Thank you, Gary.
Well, then if you decide to come in, depending on what y'all decide to do with the pay scale, if you decide to combine two pay scales together, two levels, then that'll affect that, or if you decide this level, if this first level can't be more than your second level, I guess it can be, but you wouldn't want that to
Yeah,
be.
then we're sitting there with 4 at 31.3. I just pulled the bottom 3, you know, so.
Well, we could do the bottom three,
bottom two.
and then I don't have my schedule.
If you bump those 3 at 30 up more, then they'll be ahead of the 4 other, I mean, I don't know where you stop without combining them.
Now, remember, we're losing that records clerk, and the records clerk starting pay is 30. Now, Karen's been in there for 12, 15 years. I know we talked about two positions, Jeremy mentioned two positions. One's a record clerk and one would be the sheriff's admin. I'm not really sure where the admin person is, but starting pay for that position.
I think it's 30 also, I believe it's 30, without looking at it.
That would be the two employees in our office that we'd want to look at, of bringing up that starting salary.
So you're saying your records clerk starting salary
It's 30,000.
is 30,000, but of course she's making a lot more than that because of raises that have followed her, not the
Correct.
positions.
Over the 10 or 12 years she's been there.
Right.
So she's fixing to go, and we're gonna have to put an advertisement out, looking for a new records clerk. So consider getting somebody in there, even just to handle the Freedom of Information Act is more than enough, and that's one aspect of what that records clerk does. So I believe that that starting pay should be raised up at least.
And we are on the 7th gonna try to redo these, salary grades. But for the employees that we have right now, we're working on those for right now, but we are gonna, hopefully, we're gonna have it on the agenda, so hopefully we're gonna redo the salary grades. Higher in amounts. I keep thinking
Lord, you and I talked about Larry the other day, or the class.
That was us. I'm sorry, I was counting, but yes, we talked about it. Apparently, he'd been passed over.
Well, a judge clarified something with me, and I probably didn't explain myself good on that, is that, I mean, he's gotten us raises that, over the last 2 years, that y'all
They were
have given
across the
across the board.
Okay.
It's just he has not gotten the steps up when the sheriff's department has moved their deputies up, and he is a licensed peace officer. Larry. And he didn't get any of the SB 22, so. Devin, am I right in saying that in the beginning he used to get a take-home vehicle, but he does not anymore, is that correct?
Correct.
you haven't hired anyone yet, have you?
No, ma'am.
Do you have a prospect?
No, ma'am.
Hmm.
Well, it's important to move those 25-2s up then, because what you're gonna have is somebody wanting to jump ship from where they're at. We'll raise them up, we'll probably keep down on internal moves. Somebody already a county employee, making 25-2 would be crazy not to want to go apply for his job at 30.
Yeah.
You know, so
Sure.
moving him up, I think that's another, just justifies what we're talking about doing. We said we was about 100,000.
Yeah. if we did them five, it was, keeping the rates the same, was about 100,000, had about 100,000 employees.
Well, it's 11:15. Let's take a lunch break and come back at 1 o'clock.
I've got to be somewhere too, so I got to go to funeral home at 2.
Well, maybe we can make a decision before noon then.
So the grade I'm looking at on this sheet right now, which is the sheriff office personnel, is this the Senate 22, with the Senate 22 money? SB 22?
We haven't changed that pay
No.
scale.
Let's just start and
That pay scale hasn't been changed in a
Okay.
while. I don't think I did it.
I'm thinking by the time you, and this is not an exact number, but by the time you bump up those
Over my sheet.
5 positions that you're going to
I
have
bring mine today since it wasn't on there.
about 69 employees that haven't gotten anything. It's, I mean, it's gonna be somewhere, but there's 69 people that haven't, their salaries have not been touched, whether it was touched by moving those 25.2s and those 30,000s up to 31.2, or the SB 22 money. So you got, like I say, it's gonna be roughly 60, because I counted 74, but I think I didn't count the most, so I'm gonna take those 5 off.
There's some open positions too, that wouldn't get that raise.
I wouldn't get it, I wouldn't count the open positions, based off of how current this is.
Yeah, I mean, if it's open position not filled by October 1st, then
Well,
those are.
unless you change the pay scale. If you change the pay scale, then they would hire in at whatever you change that to.
Yeah, but that's a discussion for
No later date.
the 7th. That's what
Yeah.
she said. $69 people at 1,200 would be 82.8. What it cost.
$100 a month,
Hmm?
$100 a month.
You're talking about across the board with the 69 one? Is that what you're talking?
No, I'm talking about 69 employees that have not, their salaries have not been raised at all. Basically, so the SB 22,
DA,
so I didn't count none of the DAs, I didn't count the jailers, because they got
Mhm.
moved to all of 40, is that right?
Correct.
And then, so like I say, it's, and then I took out those 5 people that we're already talking about raising their,
The base salary,
Yes.
starting pay.
right.
In the deputies, they got SB 22.
Did all your deputies get at least a $1,200 bump?
Yeah, they got brought up to the 50. Correct. But as a reminder now, that didn't cost the county anything, right? That was state. So,
right.
you know, the county wasn't out anything because of those.
Actually, remember they did it out of the
Oh, okay,
general
they-
fund, so.
they did it out-
There was a trade there, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, yeah, the state sent that money, but we're trying not to overcharge taxpayers and still provide a service.
Where'd the state get their money from us?
Just out of the fixed pot.
Indirectly, yeah.
Yeah, fixed pot.
So what was your recommendation?
I was just saying
Or
that
just talking? Okay.
if the positions that haven't received anything did get $1,200, that would be under the 100,000 that Will and I's been talking about, just kind of left in the key
Without moving the rest.
without moving the rate.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be
It would be something.
more fair. I mean, I know that's poor English, but it would be fairer. You know, my deal, on the bottom, I wasn't trying to be unfair by just moving the bottom, but it's just like when people talk about, they had 5 resumes, and Jimmy comes in, I talked yesterday, when he came, anyway, he said, you know, after they found out what it paid, 4 of them said, no, I'm not interested, you know, so I'll just start with 25. I mean, you know, that, we gotta do something, you know, to help.
We do.
I wasn't trying to, just, I'm
It's
just trying to bring it up.
step in the right direction.
Help some turnover.
But some of those, like I say, when we get to looking at that next week, some of those positions, when you look at what the county's paying right now anyway, you want to raise them up to be able to hire somebody good, but you don't want to hire them in at the same amount somebody's been working for 10 years.
Right.
That's worked out to. They're happy to leave them in there. They need to.
I get it.
Need
I
to
get
be
it.
raised.
Yeah, that was.
They shouldn't be the full amount that somebody has earned.
You also have to remember we pay longevity, and that's based on somebody's length of service here, and you're not really supposed to double dip and pay somebody longevity plus benefit them on their length of time here. You're not supposed to do 2 things on the same length of service. So,
Yeah, we're not raising because of length of service. We're just doing longevity for length of service. But,
We'll raise the match.
do what?
That's
We don't raise
the match.
the match? Well,
If we make that work, I'm all
okay.
good.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I mean, that would be, kind of, we're trying, you know, I'm all okay.
Did I speak to that? What you discussing? I just want to, I fully agree with what y'all are saying. That would affect everybody in my office. And 2 of my clerks that have been there 2 years, just over, are at the 31.3. So, you know, if without this discussion, they'd be making $100 more from somebody who just got hired.
Right.
So
And
that does kind of go.
And that's what I was saying.
I was concerned about on the 4 that was 31.3, and that ain't really fair to them to, yeah.
So I just, it's very support what y'all
That
are
would,
discussing.
that would help, everybody would get a
Little something.
Overall, what wasn't fair would be if out of 110, say, you had 40 of them got raises and the other 70 didn't get nothing.
Right.
You know, that's what I was just trying to
But you got
add
it.
it and make it.
Just something to think about too, we're still, Senate Bill 22 is still coming out with rules, right? We had this little dance earlier where I took some money away, and I think I was able to give it back. They're still promulgating rules dealing with Senate Bill 22. I don't know if I'm,
that money, Brian.
I'm sorry.
Didn't we let you keep that money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they
You
won't
offered
take
to
it
give it
away.
back, but then you got to keep it because you might need it.
Correct. There's a chance come October that not all of my people may get Senate Bill 22 money.
Well, if that goes away, we'll have to go back and add theirs.
I just wanted to bring it up.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
When it deals with the raise, I definitely understand what you're saying about Senate Bill 22 money going into next year. My numbers may change. They may keep it all. This would be a discussion at all.
It's in it two employees that may not, then we'd have to come back and do the 1,200 a year.
I would like for that to be the case
Oh, yeah.
if I had to take away.
Because that's the way it's styled is,
If you didn't,
you know, people that did not get it. And so if it ends up they don't get it, well then, I think we'd have to go back and do that. to be
Yeah,
fair.
that'd be fair.
To be fair,
that'd be my argument.
yeah.
Hey, but that's the whole, I think we all want to be fair.
For sure, just to give you a heads up.
We're trying to be
comes
fair to
that.
the taxpayers and the employees at the same time.
We
Yeah,
certainly can't do what the SB 22 did for everybody.
And we'll see where it comes that day, just give you kind of a heads up if that comes up.
Well, that sounds good to me. Now, will that be elected officials also?
Yeah.
I thought we already said we wouldn't.
I know, I'm just clarifying because we
We would take
have.
them off of that calculation too, because I was just counting the lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not for.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about, how many elected officials?
Well, there's constables, there's
About 25.
JPs, there's
somewhere in range of 25, I think.
some
It
elected
could be a little
officials.
high on that, but.
All right. All right. And what we'll do then Friday is we'll make the motion because we have to have it on the, have an agenda item on that. So we will have it on Friday. Also, now that takes care of setting salaries. The proposed rate is going to stay the same, is that right?
That's what I'm for, make it work.
I vote to leave it the same, I just hope something doesn't come up.
Yeah, I want to
How
live the
much
same.
did,
I just hate,
okay, my deal is, okay, how much did we not spend last year?
32.
We ain't discussed that number.
well, we won't know until
I
October
know,
first.
I know. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
I mean, what we.
that's a moving target, and we never know that for budget. That's the thing that confused me the most.
Greg
My
said
first
it's
year
newspaper, that's all it
was-
is.
This is hard time because we don't know for sure
Right,
either.
Exactly.
Right. I get it.
And Mother Nature could come back through and dig us another spot, make up every road and bridge budget there is, you know, I mean.
My
and
carryover.
then we won't have to be borrowing money.
Mine, all of our carryovers got.
Yeah.
Knocked out.
My carryover is very fictitious on that.
Well, I'll go back and refigure before we,
Yeah.
Ask Andy about that carryover money from the first time he was here, he said, I got $80,000 in my carryover. How much? And I
Was there a
said,
sandwich deal
I
involved
said,
in
go
that?
in there and ask that lady how much you got in carryover. He went, we had a different auditor. What'd she say you had, Andy?
He wanted the auditor to say, why didn't I get all my carryovers?
He said,
Okay,
It
it's
will be
3219, and we could go up to 3355. Do we want to round that 32 off? Or leave it at 3219?
I won't leave it alone. That's my opinion. I don't want to raise. I mean, because we're getting an increase in taxes anyway. Slight. There's a slight increase in taxes anyway with the rate being
This
set.
is gonna be an increase to operate the county too.
Right.
You know,
I'm just.
Definitely.
my whole deal, like I say, I wanna leave it the same. I don't even wanna have to say, yeah, we raised taxes, but it was only just a little
And
bit.
the other
But it-
side,
I just want to
The
be
other
sure.
side is it's a whole lot harder to go up.
oh, I know.
Because next year,
But
It is.
especially if you go up a little bit this year, the next year you need all that 3.5%.
Yeah, but what, we've had all these solar people come in here, and it's 25, 26 projections. I mean, if part of them come through.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't bank on it, I know that.
Ain't
But
pushing
you-
no dirt in my precinct.
I know. But what I'm getting at, they are a little bit over there. And,
Yeah.
they're doing some, there's activity out there. I'm just saying.
All that
let's put
benefit
it-
things of all.
Yeah, I mean,
It will.
if, you know, there's like 6 of them, if 1 or 2 of them actually materialize in the next year or so, you know, there is hope, I guess you might say. If that's the right word.
I thought we were gonna put all that money, solar money, in the road and bridge anyway.
Well, now we want,
What did you say?
What'd you say?
We're gonna make a policy on
And if
that.
you say that, then they're gonna want it all in
Nobody
there.
can get in it.
No, we'll split it, we'll split it, 24 precincts.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't matter whose precinct it's
Lord,
in.
it's more fun, I ain't seen it, I won't ever see it.
what about the bid opening yesterday? Karen,
I just opened them, that's it.
was it more or less than last year?
About the same.
Or,
Fuel too.
Brian and Brian. I didn't really go compare them,
okay,
but Brian and Brian, went up a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Night River and all that? Well, we know,
One place like 65 and then they went to 72 now.
no, they were 68, I think.
68 and then they went to 72, I think, but Texas bid stayed the same, I think, we looked at that.
See, it's gonna cost more to operate. Because of that right there. Here we are figuring a budget, we don't even have that information.
All right. What else do we need on the agenda for Friday? Now, it'll be short, very short.
We still got one on the agenda for today.
Yeah, what about the executive session?
I don't think we need to have anything. I don't think anything needs to change from what, well, all right. Do we want to go into executive session? Let's go there for just a
I got
minute.
something I'd like to, I mean, discuss on that, just.
In connection with that, okay, where's my agenda? All right.